Hey, it's Alex from Board Game Co. And today we are talking about Streets, the sequel, sort of, not really sequel, spiritual successor, call it what you will, to Villagers. Now, I will say I'm going to be trying to keep this short, under 10 minutes, hopefully, because I have 3 videos going up today. I have Mercado de Lisboa, Galaxy Hunters, and now Streets. So let's see if we can keep it to under 10 minutes. All those are up right now, by the way, so when you're done with this one, go check those out. So in any case, from there, so, Streets. Streets is a game that's doing phenomenally well so far with 4,420 backers as of now. By the time you're watching this, that'll be more. $218,000 again by the time you're watching this, hopefully much more. And 24 days to go, and by the time you're watching this, less. You see 2 numbers go up, 1 number goes down. Kind of crazy, just mixing up the way I'm cutting into my time. Let's skip the little banter and go straight to it. Streets is basically the sequel. It's from Sinister Games, who is most well known for putting out Villagers. They have another game before, but they put out Villagers, which was overall well received. It's a game I have not played myself. I do want to get it and play it, especially because it has drafting. I love drafting. It is my absolute favorite mechanic in board games. I don't know why I haven't gotten this yet. I will try to remedy that as soon as possible, but I am going on a tangent when I have limited time, so back to Streets. So Villagers was well known, overall well received, and Streets is the next game from the same publisher, the same designer, and the designer is also the illustrator, so I guess same designer, publisher, and illustrator, a perfect trifecta of 2 people. Can you have a trifecta of 2 people when one of them is the publisher and the designer? Now I know why my videos are always over 10 minutes. I cannot stop myself from going on side tangents. So what is this game? What's going on here? This game, it's pretty simple. I'm actually going to go ahead and use their own little how to play because it's actually very well done. On your turn, place a building into the city, add an ownership marker, and put a meeple on the building to match it. Then when a street is enclosed, all the buildings on it are sold for money, and they'll have different money depending, it'll be different requirements depending on the actual building. They have abilities, get this for that. Think Suburbia like, there'll be some simple plain numbers as well as some situational abilities to define how much money a building is worth. As soon as you're done with that, okay, great, you sold the building, the street's enclosed, and the street's enclosed by putting different buildings in different configurations so it locks off the street. At that point, you get paid, and you get paid both by the money as well as the meeples on the building. Then all the meeples move to matching buildings. The person who enclosed the street moves those buildings to matching buildings, which escalates the tension of the game. It means that as the game goes on, more and more meeples are slowly escalating the game, which is great both because it ramps up the tension. It also means that you're not getting punished early game, because when a game sits there and escalates the amount of victory points you get as the game goes on, that means mistakes early game are less punishing. You have time to build up, time to see, and you ultimately score more points in the third half of the game, thirds of the game, than you would in the first part of the game. So overall, that's basically the game. It's plain and simple. Place a street, potentially put an ownership marker, put up buildings, score the streets, get paid, move meeples, rinse, repeat until the game is over. The game does come with 2 modules. Let's see if we can find them over here. It comes with 2 modules that will change up the game a bit. The first module, if I can find it, is the business expansion, which are basically makes use of the icons of the buildings, where you put these every time whenever a street is scored, every player with a building gets to take a business token matching the icon, and then it's set collection. At the end of the game, you get a $10 bonus for whoever has the most sets of each type. And then there's the consultants expansion, which is a totally different thing. It basically gives each player an ability that changes how they play the game. So 2 simple and plain expansions, likely easy enough to incorporate. I would say no reason not to incorporate, but again, I haven't played the game, so I'm just going by the fact that it looks like a fairly simple, lightweight game with fairly simple, lightweight expansions. Perfectly up my alley. Not alley. Anyways, so should you back this game? Looks pretty, looks cute, looks appealing. So did Villagers. Should you back it or should you not? So let's start with the first thing. Villagers was a well-received, well-reviewed game. Not amazing, not knock out of the park, but it was a good lightweight game, a good intro game. I am not looking at Villagers or Streets as something to rival my Food Chain Magnet. I'm looking at it as something to play more as a gateway game, more as a lighter game. When I'm looking for something light and relaxing, I don't want something too brain-burnery. This falls into that range. So that's the zone we're competing in here. In terms of the cost, that's the word. In terms of the cost, we have 4 pledge levels because, first of all, we have a $31 pledge level, which includes Streets, the standard edition, all unlocked stretch goal promo content, which we'll show you shortly, and then the next up from there, and then shipping, plus shipping, factor in shipping. And shipping will be free to the UK, subsidized elsewhere. I believe it was $8 to the US, if I'm not mistaken. Next up from there, we have the deluxe pledge, which is $51, so that's a bump of $20 basically, to give you the deluxe version of Streets, which I'll show you shortly. Next up from there, we have $71, which basically adds, I believe it adds $40. Is that really right? Oh my gosh, $31 to $71. Yeah, that's $40 to get you streets and villagers. So basically charging a bit of a premium to get you villagers, and we'll come back to what I mean by a premium. And then as well to $91 to get streets deluxe and villagers. So basically to either of the two pledge levels, you can spend $40 to get villagers, which is the Kickstarter version of villagers, which is villagers the base game, plus the villagers promo pack. So let's cover all those things, but first let's look at the stretch goals and let's look at the deluxe version. The deluxe version is pretty well broken down over here, and there's a solo mode, by the way. The deluxe version is over here. Standard version has 48 wooden meeples, 87 cardboard money, and 48 cardboard business. The deluxe version comes 48 screen printed meeples. These guys look cool, right? I'll show you a picture in a minute. 87 wooden money tokens and 48 wooden business tokens. So it just premiumifies them up. In terms of what that looks like, this is what the standard version looks like. You know, plain meeples, plain tokens over here, small stacks of stuff. And the deluxe version comes with this, much bigger, thicker stacks of stuff. And look at all these adorable screen printed meeples. Looks super adorable, super cool, very interested, awesome. That is the difference in price of, I believe it was $20 to get all that stuff. Not a bad price in terms of the components you're getting versus the extra cost. In terms of the Villagers expansion, so basically for $40 you can buy Villagers plus expansion now. Now that's not the best price because you can get Villagers in the $23, $24 range right now. So I think I even saw a price $20. So you're basically talking about saying that the promo pack from the first Kickstarter is worth $20, which it isn't. Basically this is them prioritizing their retailer relationships, which I totally get. They're saying, hey, this game is already available. It's already been sold to our retailers. We can't sit there and undercut their prices because they'll be ticked off at us, understandably so. So here's the game. But if you want that expansion, you're probably paying a little more, but you also are giving us money and you're helping support us. So that's nice, which I totally get. Whether or not you want to spend that $40 to basically get the slightly overpriced version of Villagers, that is a personal determination you have to make. I don't think there's anything wrong with it, by all means. I mean, put it this way, if it's a difference of a few bucks, I would do it, because I do like supporting the original creator. I'm a big fan of that. Even as someone who technically owns a retail store, I'm still a fan of supporting the publishers. If it's a difference of $10, $15 compared to what you can get, that's a little more of an ask. So that's a personal determination you'll have to make as far as whether you want to support them by buying Villagers specifically from them for a slightly premium price. In terms of whether the base pledge, so let's ignore those two higher pledge levels because that's more about buying an established game at a higher price, and let's focus on the basic pledge levels. So, unlike Villagers didn't really have a premium deluxe version. Villagers had the base game, the Kickstarter stretch goals. Oh, I forgot the stretch goals. My bad. Stretch goals. So far what we have, and the daily reveals and stretch goals, so there's going to be more content unlocked or whatnot. But as of right now, we have 2 new consultants, which is going to be unlocked at 5,000 backers, which takes you from 7 consultants to 9 consultants, which is a nice jump. And we have 5 new building tiles. So these are more building tiles, complete work in progress. We have no details on how they play out. Those are already unlocked. And then additionally, I think there was an additionally. I can't find the additionally. I thought there was an additionally. Perhaps I'm wrong. Oh, here we go. Consultants art 7. Nope. That's, alternate art. Yeah, they already added alternate art. So this is the timed reveal. So there's going to be both stretch goals, or number of backers stretch goals, and timed reveals. So they've unlocked alternate art as well. More of this stuff will potentially be coming as the campaign progresses. So keep an eye out for it. In terms of will it hold its value, will it not? Short version is kind of a maybe. If you look at the original Villagers sold for, I believe, 22 pounds, not euros. And it basically ended up, if you were waiting to get it in retail, it was a little bit cheaper to get it in retail once it showed up. But it wasn't by a significant amount. Once you factored in shipping, once you factored in shipping and the Kickstarter pricing, comparing it to retail, it was basically a few dollars savings getting it in retail. It's still a few dollars, but you're basically getting it later, and a few dollars, and then of course the factor of supporting the publishers. And then there's the promotional pack. The original Villagers had a promotional pack included that, compared to what you can get right now, would make it an overall good buy. Not a great buy, again, not an amazing buy, but it gave you enough of a reason to back the game. I think you're going to see the same thing here. It depends on what kind of extras and unlocks we get over here, and these promo packs will be available directly from their website, so it's not like it's a Kickstarter exclusive. It will be available, but it's one that ultimately in this campaign, they are giving you just enough of a reason to back it, combined with, getting it earlier and supporting the publisher. If you are on the fence about this game, if you want to wait till there's a ton of reviews out, then don't back it now, because the pricing is not significantly better. You'll be able to get this stuff later. There's no real incentive to do so. And by the way, that deluxe version, it's worth mentioning, will also be available from their website. So nothing here is exclusive forever. But if you are pulled in, if you liked Villagers, if you've watched Rado's run through and you're pulled in and you're intrigued and whatever, then maybe back it. It's not a bad price, and you are supporting the creators, and it's not, again, not a bad price. I'm usually not, my thing is I'm not into supporting the creators when they are basically charging you an arm and a leg to do so. But if the prices are equitable, then yes, I want the creator to get more money. I want the publisher to get more money. I do value publishers in this community, and I want them to get paid. I just want it to be a win-win. Don't make me feel like I should have waited. Don't make me regret backing a Kickstarter. And this is one where I don't think you will. At worst, you're losing a few bucks, and you'll be able to play this game right when it arrives. It's all hot and shiny off the presses. Plus, you'll be supporting a small publisher, which is always nice. Coming in at 10 minutes on the dot, although now I'm over, I am Alex Radcliffe. Until next time, I hope you have a good one.